All right, I'm Carter Biese. I'm from Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm 18, and I'm racing all the A classes. I mean, my dad had a bike for me before I was even born, but I was like born right into it. My dad owns 2 racetracks, and I mean, from the second I could talk, that was all I wanted to do. I could name every single pro rider on the line when I was 4 years old. So I didn't actually start riding till I was 5, and then didn't really get too into it right away, but then my dad hosted an area qualifier one year, and he's like, hey, you want to try for Loretta's? And the rest is history. So here we are. Once I got on to senior, I did pretty well at Loretta's. I think I was somewhere inside the top 10, but I was always like an 8th to 10th place kid. I went to public school until I was a junior in high school, or halfway through junior year in high school, and once I got on big bikes, things started to go well for me. So I won the 125 class at Loretta's, but then unfortunately I just got hurt a lot. Right before Loretta's in 2018, I moved up to B right away, and I felt really good going in beforehand, but I hit the ground at Club MX and thought it was no big deal, took a day off, and then actually rode the next day. But then like 4 days later, I couldn't even like roll to my left side. My head hurt so bad. I couldn't walk outside because the sun was too bright. And we didn't really know at the time. The year before, I got heat exhaustion, and we thought it could have been that, but didn't really know. So I ended up racing Loretta's, which wasn't the smartest idea. I couldn't really see much past 15 minutes. And then I got home and nothing got better. Like, I couldn't sit in the lights, I couldn't go outside, I couldn't look at my phone. It was just like miserable. So I ended up getting diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, and just like spent like 6 months just miserable, like laying on the couch. I'd sleep half the day. When I go to school, I'd make like 3 hours and I have to go home. I couldn't make a full day because my head hurt so bad. And it was like 6 months in and I couldn't ride my dirt bike. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. I was seeing a normal neurologist, and he's like, it just takes time. So I'm gonna listen to the guy. But then I was like, man, this ain't gonna work. Like, so I think I found a Dale Earnhardt Jr. podcast. He actually got a concussion, and he found a guy in Pennsylvania, I believe, and one thing led to another, and we found a functional neurologist up in Minnesota. My dad called on a Friday, we were in on a Monday, and that was about 8 months into the whole thing. And we went there. I went for 2 full weeks of like therapy, and I was good to go 2 weeks later. But like, without the help of those guys, Dr. Schmo at the Functional Neurology Center, there's no way I'd ever rode a dirt bike again.
That is insane. So when you came back, were you guys full steam ahead, or were you guys kind of tread lightly to see how it went?
At first, obviously, I had to see how it went. So when I came back right away, they told me it wasn't going to be perfect. So I had to work my way back into it. But honestly, it was like at that point in time, I had won Loretta's, but then missed it. And I knew we were right there. I still ran inside the top 5 that week I had the concussion. So it was like, it's now or never. I mean, I was right there, so we got back into it. I went down to Club MX, but then I made like 2 months and then tore my ACL. Tried riding through it, but it just it got stuck in between my leg, and I couldn't bend my leg. So.
Yeah. So we're here at Minneo's 2020. How's the week gone for you overall?
The week's been up and down. I started Supercross. My speed was great all week, but I started near the back every time. So we worked our way through the pack. I was happy with the rides, but not the finishes. But then outdoor, I think the first moto, I pulled the whole shot and led a few laps. I think I finished 4th. We had good runs on the outdoor, and just before main started, I came down with some food poisoning. So the last 2 days haven't been very fun. I lasted a few laps, but no, we showed our speed. I feel pretty good, and I feel good going into next year. We got some new things coming for next year. I'm excited.
Awesome. So anyone you want to thank?
My mom and my dad, Fly Racing, Scott, Pure Kana, OC Racing for everything they've done for me the last few years, Rob's Performance, ODI, FMF, Monster, Dunlop, Sunstar, man, everybody, thank you. It's been a tough few years, but it's nice to finally be back on the bike. And I hadn't hit a true national besides Loretta's since 2017. So Loretta's, Ponca, Baja, and Minios, it's been nice to get some racing back under my belt.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, funniest story about Jordan. What do you got?
Oh man, funniest story about Jordan. Well, one year we were in Belgium messing around, and we darn near threw him out of a 3-story hotel playing on the beds. But I mean, the backflip that he did, I'm sure you guys can find a clip. I said something on a Thursday, he was gonna flip on Saturday night. I said, yo, you want a backflip? So we went and picked up a bike Thursday night, never jumped a bike before in his life, and perfect, nailed it first try. I mean, anything the kid touches, he knows what to do, so it's crazy.
Awesome. Sweet, I think that's it, man.
All right,
Awesome.
sweet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.